G'day guys, welcome to the Iron Empire. In this episode, we turn this tired old Harley into something worth riding again. Plus, getting on a custom on a budget. Alright, so down here at Tony's place, he's just done an awesome job on the bike, just started a new business, doing Harley detailing, and he said bring this thing down, and it definitely tested it because this thing was looking pretty shabby. But there's obviously a little bit of damage on this bike that needs a little bit more than just a good old polish, but the rest of it otherwise has come up so good. Absolutely pumped on this thing. In two minds whether I want to sell it now, but I've got a new front guard come for it. I need to orange wall the bike all round, including the back wheel. Just a few little bits and pieces I want to do to tie this thing up a little bit further, but overall absolutely pumped on how this thing's looking. Just for a stocky that is a mild custom, pretty bloody happy with how it's looking. Alright guys, so now we're getting stuck back in this little sporty. It's just come back from Adelaide Harley detailing, looking absolutely mint. Obviously there's only so much we can polish. There's a little bit of flaking chrome and stuff like that. Still a little bit of corrosion on the bike because this thing is well over 30 years old, but this is looking better than it ever has. So absolutely pumped with the work that Tony done on this bike. So thank you to Tony. We're now going to move on with a few little upgrades that's going to make this thing a little bit more road legal. Starting off with a brand new front fender. This come from Level 1 Cycles. Brenton down there hooked me up with a brand new front fender. These things fit like factory. Absolutely perfect. Nice, neat, little slim fit, narrow glide front fender. So that comes in a raw finish, which does have a little bit of an oily residue. So we're going to clean that up now, give it a prime and a paint. That is going to look perfect. Jet black to match the rear guard. This bike was actually a factory black bike. It's obviously got the Smith Concepts airbrush tank on it, which will remain. That's why I named this thing Citrus Fresh. Then move on with a few more little things just to finish this bike off. It's going to look mint. Okay, so now I've given the fender a prime and I've actually rubbed it ready to go. I'm going to give this a coat of black. We only need a bee's dig because it's only one fender. I'm going to give it not much, that's probably plenty. Reduce it slightly. Alright, let's go lay some colour out in the paddock. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I want to say this week a thank you to Tony from Adelaide Harley Detailing. who sorted out the Sporty for me when I was under the pump. He jumped on board to help me out to get this project done. If you're in Adelaide and want to get a bike done, consider checking out Tony. He's the best in the business. I will leave his details in the description below. Definitely check his work out and also check out his socials. Also, I want to say a massive thank you to all the new Iron Empire members who have jumped on and thrown their support behind the channel. It means a great deal to me. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the membership, you can jump onto my homepage, click join or click membership. You'll be able to see all the options that are available for you so you can support the channel, get a heap more behind the scenes insight on what is happening at the Iron Empire. Also, we're going to be sharing proceeds that come from the memberships with charities of your choice. We're going to be voting every month to where these proceeds go. So jump on board, check out the membership section if it's for you. If not, I'll see you every Saturday, 8 AM as per usual. Now let's get stuck back into this video. All right guys, so I've been spending a few days off and on with this bike, just getting it ready. One of the things I have to do is put a little set of indicators on it. Now, when I first started doing bikes, trying to pick aftermarket parts that actually looked reasonable were really tricky. As in, there was not a lot around that looked any good. But nowadays, they're getting pretty creative. Look at this tiny little indicator. It is absolutely dinky. I mean, it's literally no thicker than like a pen. And it's only about, not even 40 millimeters long. And this is E-marked, meaning that if it's got a little E mark on it, that means it is Australian compliant. So no matter how tiny this is, you can disguise it, hide it, put it where you want. You're probably not even going to notice it. It's legal, so you can't get done for having the wrong indicators. A lot of aftermarket parts back in the day would come out of China and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but they weren't E-marked, meaning they did not meet Australian standards. So when you're doing aftermarket mods on your bike or car for that matter, make sure it's got E-marked on the lens, otherwise you may have issues. All right, guys, so that is a wrap on the 1200cc Sporty. As you can see, it actually come up really, really nice. For something that was a little bit weathered and looking a bit scrappy, super happy with the outcome. So Tony down at Adelaide Harley Detailing done a wicked job of getting this thing to a respectable level. Now, obviously, there's some corrosion and rust on the thing that was unable to be saved, especially the corrosion. This is actually a 33-year-old bike now, so you can't forget that. But overall, super solid bike with the Smith's Concepts tank on it and a few key details like some red walls and a few little custom mods. I'm super happy with how this thing's come up. This bike actually, since the last video, has sold. So it didn't take long to get this thing ready, and all of a sudden it's going to be gone. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's gone to a good home and I'm excited for the new owner. Okay, so while we're talking custom bikes, for those who have followed the Iron Empire for a long time will know that the Iron Empire actually started off with building Harleys. And also I dabbled in a little bit of learner approved customs as well. Now, for those who want to get into the bike market and want something a little bit custom, it is still totally affordable without going crazy. Okay, so when I started buying these bikes to customize them, we could pick these things up from 2 up to maybe 5 grand for a pretty good solid 1200cc Sporty. They're an overlooked bike a lot, but they can be really good for customizing, especially if you want to go that next step further and go a hardtail to a full bobber look. They're an awesome candidate for that. If you want to start adding some custom parts to these bikes, it is super simple. Day one stuff that you can learn as you go. But if you're on a full budget and you're on your L's, then a little Yamaha like this is also a good option. Now, these things pop up for even less, and I used to build these and flip them for like 4.5 to 5 grand, and I was making a little bit of money on those. But they actually are a pretty cool little learner bike that do look kind of cool as a custom that you can jump on your L's. They're only a 250cc bike. This bike's actually the same age. It's a 1990, maybe it's a 92, can't remember. 30-year-old bike anyway. It's a bit scrappy. It actually needs a clean up. Funny story about this bike, I actually built this years ago for my neighbor. It was painted differently, but a lot of the key features are still the same. This actually changed hands many times and ended up with my mate, Josh. He's a Polish guy, and he come to me and said, hey, I've got one of your old bikes. This happens to be the bike. I've managed to end up with it again. We're just gonna do a few little things to tidy this thing up and get this on the market as well. So anyone that is into their bikes, don't overlook some of these budget options. You can end up with a really cool bike for not a lot of money. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap this time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think of the bikes. Come see me next time on the Iron Empire. Cheers, guys.